Shalom, shalom. Uh, Let me know if y'all can hear me. I know the feed broke up a couple times. Let me know if the audio and the visual good. You know, shalom. Yahweh Shem Awashah, Shem Kakwadash, Barakathum. You know, to you brothers, to you few sisters, man. You know, okay, con. Well, let's get it. You know, we get straight into it. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being a great example to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth. And in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Shema, Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Shema, Shah. You know, I'm out here at the park, you know, beautiful day, you know, wind blowing, you know, just make you want the earth back, you know, and righteousness, you know. And then I'm out here today, as y'all might hear in the background, you know, I'm looking at the Israelite family, you know. So it's a Israelite man, his wife, okay, and two children, you know. They just at the park playing, man, and that's the gospel, man, the good news, man, okay. Earth ran, okay, in righteousness, why people gonna thrive, man, you know. And I say, it's a beautiful thing seeing, you know, how active, you know, young Jake is. He all over the place. You know, his sister trying to keep up with him. You know, she don't stand a chance. You know, but yeah, that's what the gospel is about, man. You know, our people thriving, and right now we understand it's just, you know, it's going to begin with the elect. You know, Lord willing, we're part of that number. But I want to go into the King's Feast. You know, try to hit the points as quick as possible. You know, due to limited time. So what I want to go into is the King's Feast. Okay, and who's that king? Yahweh Shai. Okay, and the feast is this word. It's a spiritual feast. All right, it's a spiritual feast, and we're going to get it. Now, when you look, when you go to the book of Mark, chapter 6, verse 33, it says, and the people saw them departing. It says, and many knew him and ran afoot thither out of all the cities, and out went them and came together unto him. So these are the people following Yahushua. Okay, our people follow Yahushua. And Yahushua, when he came out, saw much people and was moved with compassion. So when Yahushua is seeing, you know, Jake, you can imagine, you know, you gotta paint the picture like Yahushua is looking at all his people, just looking at him, you know, for answers, man, for some type of hope, for some type of inspiration, you know. You gotta understand what Yahushua is seeing his people in the destroyed state, you know, and captives to the Romans. Okay, you know, a lot of our people was influenced by the Romans. You know, you had our people that didn't know who they were. All right, the horrible leadership of the scribes and Pharisees, the Romans taxing the hell out of them. He was seeing Jake impoverished. You know, Yahushua was seeing what we seen, man. Okay, so he's looking at all these Jakes, looking at him, and he's like, shit, you know. And you know, you gotta kind of put yourself in his shoe, and it says and was moved. It says, and Yahushua, when he came out, saw much people, was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. Okay, and Yahushua had compassion, all right, towards our people, and that's why he began to teach them, because this is one of the big acts of love that we can do, is teach our people righteousness. Now, just to show, you know, that this word going forth to our people is an act of compassion. All right, you remember, say Yahushua had compassion on the people. Now, when you go to 2 Chronicles 36 and 15, it says, and the Lord power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes, and because he had compassion on his people and, all right, on his dwelling place. So when the Lord sent, send the prophet as an act of compassion before the wrath. Just as he sent Yahushua, that was the biggest act of compassion, you know, for Yahushua to teach and then also be a sacrifice. That was an act of compassion, towards, our people, man. But only the elect is going to take heed in this time, all right? And the rest are going to be trodden down, you know? Now, let's go back to Mark, the 6th chapter, okay? And it says, verse 34, it says, "And Yahushua, when he came out, saw much people and was moved with compassion toward them because they were as sheep not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him and said, This is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away that they may go into the country around about and into the villages and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. He answered and said unto them, Give ye them to eat. And they said unto him, Shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread and give them to eat? He said unto them, How many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, it says, and when they knew, they say, 5 and 2 fishes. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the grass, and they sat down in ranks by hundreds and by fifties. So you guys see the setting, all these people, like he made them sit down, okay, in ranks of hundreds and fifties, okay? Just like when you go in the restaurant, you see how the different tables, are set up. So what is Yahweh doing? He's setting up the feast for a king. He's setting up the king's feast. You see? He's setting it up. All right? And you go into it, it says, and when he had taken the 5 loaves and 2 bread and 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves and gave them to his disciples to set before them. And the 2 fishes divided he among them all, and they did all eat and were filled, and they took up 12 baskets full of fragments of fish. So there was even leftovers, man. Okay, there was even leftovers. And see, Yahushua has done the same thing in this time, man. He has multiplied himself because he's the bread of life. Okay? Remember, he's the bread of life. Let's get that. Okay? He's the bread of life. And what he has done in this time, he has multiplied himself through his men, and he's distributed himself. Okay? Because when someone sits down, what is that? That means they're submissive to what's being taught. And so when you brothers and you sisters, when we come to these live streams, it's like we're sitting down and being fed Yahushua, man. Okay? We're at the king's feast. Okay? Hey, this is a noble gathering. Hey, that's why there's order. There's a certain standard required for women. There's a certain standard, required for brothers. Because when you come to a king's feast, a feast of nobility, there's a standard, there's a conduct. Okay? You don't just come in there talking, cackling, laughing, There's a certain way, you come into the feast of nobility, man. That's why there's a standard, on these live stream, man, because this is a king's feast, okay? And the king is Yahushua. Now let's get there real quick in the book of John. I want to say the 5th chapter. I'm not mistaken. All right, what did he say? Because everything that Yahushua doing, was a shadow of things to come, in the spirit. He would do a physical thing, but it was a shadow of things to come, all right, in the spirit. Okay? Now this is John 6 and 35. It says, And Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. Yeah, so Yahushua is the bread of life that was being multiplied. Okay? And the horn had to blow on that one. Yahushua is the bread of life that's being multiplied and distributed amongst the believers. But it starts being submissive. I mean, you have, sitting down like I said, is a form of being submissive. You see? And then he said there was fragments left to be picked up. Okay? It was still, food left to be picked up after he fed everyone. Like today, like all this bread that's going out today, all right? It's gonna be so much stuff that we can't even, take in. It's gonna be leftovers. Every day there's leftovers of Yahushua. Because you can only watch so many videos a day. You see? This word is abounding, man. You know? What did King David say? Okay. Let's get that real quick. So what Yahushua was doing, in the flesh, okay, is happening in the spirit now. Okay. This is Psalms 23:5. It said, "Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Hey, we're sitting here eating a royal feast in the presence of our enemies, Esau, Edom. Because he's looking now, like they're directly looking at this. They're looking at the camps. But the Yahweh Shema Shai has prepared us a feast. We eating at the king's table right before our enemies, man. You see that? And Esau can't move until the king gives him permission, man. Okay, and even then it's a setup. All right, it's heavy, man. They said this is Psalm 23:5. It said, they go that mirror sounding off again. It said, "Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over." You see? Yahweh shot, hey, because when you in the feast, one of the things that would represents, the abundance of a king was how much excess he had in wine. It would be an embarrassment if you had a feast and you ran out of wine. There would be a disgrace. There will be, a sign that look, this kingdom, okay, is suffering, man. But if your cup running over, that means that king has abundance. Okay? So at Yahweh Shai's feast, man, our cups are running over, man. The wine just keep coming, man. This live stream in, another one start, like you can't even, you still buzzing off this cup. And then here come another servant come pouring you some more. You see? This is a king's feast, man. I pray, that this is making sense. All right, so let's go back. Let me finish that. But what's going on, man? Brother Isaiah. Our brother's good, man. You had the feast, baby. Esau hurt. This nigga hurt behind this feast too, man. But he gonna get that war he want, man. That's another lesson. But you gonna get that war you want, nigga. All right. Talking to Esau. I know he watching. Looking. All right, you gonna get that war you want, chump. All right. This is back in Mark. All right. Come, brother. That's all we can do. Endure. Keep participating in these feasts and enduring, man. This is Mark 6 and 41. It says, "And when he had taken the 5 loaves and 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves and gave them to his disciples and set before them. And the 2 fishes divided he among them all. And they did eat all and were filled." Okay? "And they took up the 2 baskets full of fragments and of the fishes, and they did eat of the loaves were about 5,000 men, man." Okay? So, and that's how we are now, because we're satisfied with how we shot. I'm not, we not thirsting for any other doctrine. We don't need any another narrative, any alternative narrative. No, we want what's promised in the scriptures, man. We want that kingdom that's promised in the scriptures. We don't want nothing else. Okay, we satisfied with that. We're full. Okay, we're full with that understanding. You see, you gotta read all these books, and niggas smoking weed, watching 4 different, doctrines or documentaries, and be all over the place. Come to the camp, you know, talking about some hotep and rah, and he's through. No, we're satisfied with the narrative, with the true narrative of the scriptures, man. That's all we need. We just waiting on it to the point. We just waiting on Yahweh shot now. you know, with all these things gonna be fulfilled. Okay, so let's get that in Luke. All right, the 12th chapter. Because as just as his disciples, were pretty much like servants. That's why Yahweh say, look, they that the greatest among you shall be his servants. You know. So here it is. You have the disciples, which are going to be, the top kings under Yahweh, but they had to be servants. They was like a waiter. And that's how we are now. The men of the Lord, we're like, waiters, for the rest of the nation. Like, we have to distribute this bread, which is Yahweh. You know, it's called, a steward. All right, now this is Luke 12:40. It said, but it said, be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when you think him not. Then Peter said unto him, Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us, or even to all? And the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler of his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? You see? So we are the steward. The Lord will, we're those faithful stewards, man. Hey, because in the ancient world, you have men that will have a lot of substance. He might have servants, women servants, men servants, and he will have a storehouse. Okay, he will have different businesses going on, and he will probably leave. Probably go, get him another wife, or make some more trade deals. Set some things up. For his households, where he will leave a steward, okay, in charge. Okay, and the steward would be acting on his behalf. He will be handling his daily affairs. He will make sure all the men servants and the women servants get their portions, when it came to meals. Okay, every now and then, everybody get a little sip of wine, a little buzz, but he would pretty much manage the household. Okay, and make sure everyone got their proper portion. Okay, make sure everyone was getting what they was supposed to get. All right. And that's why, you have to understand how the ancient world worked, to really understand these parables. Something I'm learning. And it says, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. And that's why this has got to be our life, this got to be our life. And see, when you're governed by the fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, it makes you always do the right thing, man. Lord willing, I pray that there's no amount of money, clout or status that will make me teach, false doctrine. And it says, verse 45, it says, now verse 44 says, of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he have. And that's that great promotion, man. He says nothing like someone that can handle business while you're not there. Someone can hold it down while you're not there. Not only hold it down, but make an increase. You're going to entrust that person with more and more. Okay, so Yahweh Shai, those faithful stewards who are feeding the servants, feeding his, because pretty much we're tending to his guests while he's not there, man. All right, and those that are doing a good job, because even you go to a restaurant, you leave a tip according to the service. Okay, but imagine what type of tip Yahweh Shai gonna give his men, according to the service that they have done, their customer service. Okay, the hospitality, man, to the guests, to his guests, you know. And Jake getting confused like this is his party, you know. It says, but and if the servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens and eat and drink, and to be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him. Yeah, because you're drunk, you're engulfed. Because see, people take, you got men that take the bread of Yahweh Shai, you know, and indulge in it for themselves, man. Debating all the time. Always got some type of event going, some album dropping, you know, all these different things. No, man, you're supposed to be distributing the bread to the believers, man. But Jake drunk off the wine. It's a party every night while the you know, while the master of the house going. It's a party every night. So you're gonna lose track of time, man. And what's gonna happen? The master gonna roll up on you when you least suspect it. When you got that bottle, you know, a nigga had a bottle turned upside down, throat bulging out, you know, a piece of lamb in the other hand. You know how niggas do. You see, talking shit, you know, and how shot gonna roll up? Because see, right now in the this is like the calm of the storm, so it's gonna be a lot of people caught off guard. Cause see, think like right now we at the park, you know, the birds chirping, you know, people playing at the park, but the economy can crash anytime. They can pull the plug in anytime, and that's gonna begin that domino effect that's gonna lead to your house shot, and it's gonna be quick. See, it's gonna be real quick. Well, see, this next phase that's gonna happen is gonna be quick. You know, that's why it's time now for us to be really solidified in what we believe, because this next phase gonna move quick. Your house shot gonna come quick, man. Okay? Because it's gonna be so chaotic that before you know, your house shot gonna be missiles gonna be in the air and your house shot gonna be in the air, man. You know, in the midst of this chaos that's to come, you see? And it says, the Lord of their servant will come in the day when he looketh portion with the unbelievers. Yeah, Jake gonna be caught out there. Regular niggas, man. Except even worse. It says, and the servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes, man. You know, and we want to do the will of Yahweh Shema Shah and truly feed, you know, our people, you know, distribute to our people a healthy portion of Yahweh Shah, man, as much as possible, man. Okay? Niggas be remixing the recipe, putting themselves in the recipe, you know. You got niggas do, man. You see? Got people, you know, you got Jake that got people hating your house shot. Okay, that movement was, you know, was tough at the beginning of the year. You know, he's beating the man servants. He's destroying their mindset, man. You know, but that was the point, pretty much. You know, this is the King's feast, and you know, brothers, we are, you know, the servants. You know, that are distributing to the King's guests. You know, which are you brothers and sisters, man. You know, you believers, man. You know, you're the King's guest. You know, that's why we have to act, you know, accordingly, man. You brothers, you know, hey, we pretty much we're, you know, kings in training. You know, so we gotta go through our interns, man. You know, and do our and put our work in. Okay, this is a noble feast, man. You know, a royal feast, and then lead to an actual feast, man. We're gonna be at the table with Yahweh Shai, Lord will, you know, and their promotion day. Okay. All right, brother can put that in the comment board, man. Promotion day. That'll be a good topic. Lord, what I can do with this weekend. Well, if a brother can remember, put that in the comment board. Promotion day. You know. But till next time, I say Shalom. Call me Ashala. Abba, and DTA soon. Shalom.